So in this video, I'm going to show you guys a roadmap on how to start making $1 million to $1,000 with e-commerce. As somebody who has been doing this for a while, in the last 7 to 8 years, I've actually made at least $1,000 from the e-commerce stores I manage. Whether it's an e-commerce store that I have that operates from Nigeria or global stores that sell to customers worldwide. If we look at the last 7 days, this particular store has already made $500,000. And I think in March there are 31 days. So you get the drift. Now, the first major checkpoint is what I call KYN. KYN simply stands for know your numbers. Okay, know your numbers. It sounds like KYC, but we'll get to that. And the first thing I want you to understand with the KYN checkpoint is your location. Now, location is in two forms, sort of. And what I mean by that is, if you are a Nigerian business or an African business, wherever it is, whether you're in Ghana, Kenya, whatever it might be, are you targeting people in your country? So, for example, a Nigerian business targeting Nigerians or targeting people in the Western world. So maybe that's the UK, the US, Canada, those kind of things. Understand where you want your location to be as you, the owner of the business, and where your customer base is. The reason why you want to understand the location is because within the KYN checkpoint, the next thing you need to pay attention to is the purchasing power. So first one is location, next one is the purchasing power. Understand the purchasing power of that location you are targeting. So again, if you're a Nigerian business targeting Nigerians, understand the purchasing power of Nigerians. If you're a Nigerian business targeting people in Ghana, targeting people in Rwanda, targeting people all over Africa, understand the purchasing power of Africans. If you're a Nigerian business targeting people in the US or in the UK, understand the purchasing power of those places. Make sure you operate from a place of insight and data. Again, the whole point of this video is trying to show you how to do things on easy mode, right? And that's the first thing I want you to understand. You have reports like the African Development Bank reports. You have reports like the PiggyVest Savings report. You have reports like from platforms like Deloitte, McKinsey, KPMG, PwC. Again, read these articles, understand what they talk about when they say this is how many Nigerians are in this particular wage bracket. This is what Nigerians currently have to spend. This is what Nigerians are mostly spending on. That sort of thing. If you're targeting the US, targeting the UK, also do that same exercise just to make life easy for you, right? Now, once you understand the location and you understand the purchasing power, you should then understand whether you're going for two types of people. Are you going for the mass, or you're going for the niche? So are you going for the masses, which is majority of the people sit here? Or are you going for the 1%, which is the wealthy of those people? And that goes to the final thing within this first checkpoint, knowing your actual numbers. You understand the location, you understand the purchasing power, you understand whether you're going for the masses or the niches or the 1%, and then you want to know the number that will get you to $1,000 a month. For example, 10 people buying a $100 product is $1,000. 20 people buying a $50 product is also $1,000. 100 people buying a $10 product is still $1,000. You get what I mean? And you need to understand that when you know who you are targeting, whether it's mass or the 1%, it has to work with your numbers. The next checkpoint is about products. Now, when it comes to products, you pretty much have two types of products. You have physical products. So for example, this mouse, my phone, this shirt, I don't know why, but this peg. These are examples of physical products, products you can touch or feel, right? Then you have digital products. So digital products are courses, templates, guides, sheets, Excel sheets or Microsoft sheets, apps. Apps are examples of digital products, all sorts of things. Now, how do you find these products? Find people that are successful, copy their stores, and I'll give a very good example. If somebody is selling to, let's just say, for the sake of this conversation, 10,000 customers each month, you probably just need 100 customers of those 10,000 for you to make your $1,000 per month, right? So if you're a beginner, don't try to complicate things. Look for the simplest way. Again, this is why these shirts are here. These shirts are actually modeled through a successful business in the US and in Nigeria. The US one is called True Classic. I'm not going to tell you the Nigerian business. Now, there are certain products where I feel is easier for beginners to get started. First one, content creation. Everybody has started to create content in Nigeria. What does that mean? People need microphone. People need tripod. People need camera. This is where you can come in. You can begin to build those platforms. There is clothes. Nobody can walk around naked. The Garden of Eden, we have been cast out, right? Find something that you yourself can build knowledge around. If you want to start selling content creation tools like tripods, things like that, you must be willing and ready to invest the time to learn about content creation. Because when we build the platform, which we're going to talk about later on, when we build the platform, you need to invest in copy, invest in knowledge, invest in speaking a certain way that the person that wants to buy the product from you will trust you enough to give you their hard-earned money. Again, you need to understand that you're actually taking money, people's money. So because you're taking money from them, you must deliver a great experience for them. Now, since we're also talking about product, I also want you to pay attention to one key thing. Because you're trying to make some money does not mean you should sell a cheap product. Make sure your product is at least good. It doesn't have to be great. People like to, I've had some people that are a bit touchy with this subject. But honestly, you don't have to sell a great product, but you must sell a good product. Don't sell an average product. Sell a good product, right? The reason I'm saying this is when you're trying to make that $1,000 on easy mode, repetitively, like I've done and I've shown you earlier in this video, you want to make sure that people have a good experience, that they will tell people about your product. Because there's only so much you can do in terms of advertising. At some point, you will need social proof. You need people to come back and say, thank you for that past experience. I want to experience it again and buy from you again. All right? So make sure you have a good product. Now, this checkpoint is probably the easiest checkpoint of them all. And the reason why I say that is because the best, fastest, and easiest way for you to know your customer is to go to the places where they go to. See where they spend money and understand why they spend money in those places. And the easiest way for you to do that is for you to identify two things. The first one is the complementary products they typically buy. Complementary products they typically buy. What do I mean by that? Somebody that buys a MacBook mouse obviously buys a MacBook, right? Most likely they buy a laptop holder that might not be a Mac or Apple product. They also buy power banks. I'm looking at the power bank right now. I'm looking at the hard drive as well right now. I'm looking at headphones as well. You can see complementary products that these people typically buy. Okay, now you can go to these platforms, these different brands. So for example, this is a Sony headphone. I can go to the Sony platform, see where they post their headphones, go through the reviews and see how people react, because those are the same customers that will buy my products if I sell a MacBook mouse or I sell a MacBook, right? So I understand how these people communicate, understand their passion points, understand their pain points, understand their communication style, understand what is important to them in terms of, quality, in terms of quality versus quantity, in terms of speed. I kind of become a nerd to understand what my customers are interested in so that I can communicate to them when I build my platform and I start posting on social media, which is later down the line, okay? But that's why you want to identify the complementary products. When you understand the complementary products, you know where to find these people and how to speak their language. The next one is similar brands, right? Now, similar brands is just a fancy way of me calling out competitor brands. That's simply it. Now, once you've done your research, I want you to then create what is called a customer avatar. A customer avatar is a snapshot. Look at me doing like this. It's a snapshot of what that person looks like. So that whenever you are creating communication materials, whenever you are creating an ad, whenever you are creating a product landing page, whatever it might be, you know who your target customer looks like and you're speaking to that person. Now, when it comes to platforms, the first thing I want you to pay attention to is not the tool to use. Whether you want to use Shopify, Bumper, What I want you to first understand is you need an offer, right? And an offer is simply just provide unbelievable value at an unbeatable price. I'll give an example. These shirts, one of them is 20,000 Naira, okay? One of them is 20,000 Naira. A pack of 5 is 49,500 Naira. What do you think most people buy? the pack of 5. Obviously, right? And the reason is because 20 times 5 is 100K. You will be stupid for you to buy something that is being offered at 50K for 100K. Now, if people go ahead to pick that at checkout, I don't mind. I love it. Hey, but obviously, most people buy the pack of 5, and that's how the product has been engineered. The pricing, everything like that has been engineered in that particular format, right? So for you, it's the same thing you want to do. Just provide an unbelievable value at an unbeatable price. Value could be quantity, it could be quality, it could be customer service, it could be after sales support like guarantees, warranties, money back or cashback guarantees, things like that. Just identify what the unbelievable value you can provide is, and then provide what price point is actually unbeatable, and everybody still makes a profit. Everybody makes a profit in the sense where you, the business, makes a profit, your customer makes a profit because they think that they've also made a good deal, and everybody's happy, basically. Now, we've identified the offer. Let's now move on to the next one, which is fulfillment. Now, fulfillment is just the final step in the delivery process. When the customer actually now gets access to what they bought from you. If it's a physical product, that is when the dispatch partner hands the product to the customer and then they open the box. Or if it's a digital product, when they can finally download or watch that course, whatever it might be. Right? That's your fulfillment. Now, this whole fulfillment process must be a great customer experience. Make sure it's a great customer experience. Invest time in building it to be a great customer experience. The reason is because when you provide value at the final stage, when you provide some sort of excitement at that final stage, most people would want to talk about it. Now, either they will share it with their friends or family in their inner circle, right? Or they will actually reach out to you and tell you about it. Some people would actually go a step further and post on social media and tag you. Now, obviously, these are the people that I love, because once they post it on social media, all we do is reshare, repost, download, and then reshare again. And then guess what? In another 3 months, we reshare again, right? And this is so important because as your business grows, your content bank of social proof or customer reviews also grows. Your content bank of testimonials also grows. So this is how it comes. This is how this whole process becomes actually easy mode. This is how you just do certain things and you get sales. Now you can go and begin to look at what tools are available to build the platform. So obviously, I use Shopify, right? So there's Shopify, there's Bumper, there's some new guys called Zero, there's Seller, there's Mainstack. Now, because I said I use Shopify, doesn't mean you should use Shopify. Please, let me just make that note, because I've noticed that a lot of you just want to use the same thing I'm using, which is not, it's fine. If you want to use Shopify, but there are more affordable options. I don't like to use the word cheaper options, but there are more affordable options. And the reason why I use Shopify is because it gives me a premium feel. So I'm able to charge my customers higher. Next up, we have social media channel. Some of you will be thinking, oh, let me just set up my Instagram and then I can set up the platform later. So, I can set up Instagram, start running ads and be collecting sales or getting customers from my Instagram DM, or I'll send them to my WhatsApp, things like that. Don't do that. Don't even try it. And I'm speaking from experience here. My first serious e-commerce business that I started with 80,000 Naira. I have a video that talks about it. I told you, I started from Instagram first, just via DMs. But in 2026, don't do that. The reason I'm saying that is because you want to position yourself where you have access to data and insights that you can easily retarget the same customers or retarget people that look like those customers. And for you to be able to do that, guess what you need? Data. And Instagram DM do not record data. I don't know, I started doing that. But anyways, make sure you have a platform first before you build your social media channels. Number 2, when it comes to social media channels, your biggest problem is content. When it comes to content, it's a tricky topic. Some people don't like to post content online. They want to remain faceless. Some people are shy. Some people think their surrounding or their background is not beautiful enough. Some people think that, they don't know what to post. See, all sorts of problems. And I agree. I've been there, done that type of vibe, right? So I understand where you're coming from. Now, whatever you are saying or thinking to yourself, honestly speaking, is, and I say this with love, is just an excuse. We need to make some money. So chin up, chest up, move on. Put on that camera and record yourself. Now, what I want you to do is create what I call content systems or content templates. What do I mean by that? All you need to do is post at least 4 pieces of content each week. Just start with that. Begin to build the technique, begin to build the intuition, begin to build the skill for content creation. Before we talk about the final checkpoint, I want to take some time to talk about Oja Digital, which is very, very important for your e-commerce business. Whether you are looking for how to calculate how much money it takes for you to be profitable, you're looking for checklists to make your life easier, or you're looking for certain tools that can improve your e-commerce business, Oja Digital has every single thing to make e-commerce easy for you. Go and check it out. And last but not least, ads. Well, to be fair, running ads, to be precise. Now, the reason why running ads is so important and why it also comes last is because the whole point of running ads is to get more people to see your platform. So this is why you want your social media channel and your platform to be set up. In fact, the whole process, the whole roadmap, they work in this same process or in these same steps. And again, don't forget to download the roadmap PDF so you can also fill in the blanks and do this thing for yourself. Now, some of you would say, oh, what about Google Ads? With Google Ads, you are trying to capture people that are searching for something already. With Meta Ads, you can create that impulse. You can drive that urge. You can force people to make a purchase. Well, not force. You can get them to be aware of a product that would make their life simpler. And that's why I love Meta Ads. Okay? Now, go and download that PDF, that roadmap PDF. Check out Oja Digital. If you want to learn more about how to improve your business when it comes to ads, there are typically 2 things I would suggest you do. Either you want to learn about how ads work. So that's understanding the basics of ads. Go and watch this video for that, if that's where you are. Or you want to know how to set up your first ad on Instagram or Facebook. Then you watch this video here. One of these 2 videos will get you to the next stage of your e-commerce business. Tell your family and friends I said hi, and I'll see you in the next video. If you're not subscribed, this is a good time to subscribe. But yeah, pick any of these 2 videos and you'll be fine. Got you.